What's up, you guys? All right, well, here we are, Thursday morning, 1 hour of trading, $20,000 of profit. Not a bad way to finish a Thursday morning, 1 hour. I mean, I'm happy with that. It was a little choppy today. I would say, again, we're kind of seeing, that the leading gappers are not holding up really well, which is kind of disappointing. I really like it when we have a leading gapper and it continues the momentum through the whole morning. Right now, ALT is back at the highs, and I made about 6,000 on that one, so maybe that one will go a little higher. It doesn't have any resistance on the daily from 26 up into the 30s, so there might be more on that one, and I suppose at this point, I might be leaving money on the table, but I finished the first hour, it's getting later into the morning. I really don't want to overstay my welcome. I'd rather just take that $20,000 off the table and come back tomorrow, just given the fact that the first hour was a little choppy. I traded 6 stocks. I had 2 nice winners, AIHS and ALT, both leading gappers, or actually, well, not ALT, but AIHS was a leading gapper, high relative volume. ALT was continuation from yesterday. And then I had 2 stocks that I had like $300-400 of profit on, and I had 2 stocks I was red on. The biggest loser was $1,900, and the second one was only $99. So, and that's not, it's fine. I'm not bent out of shape about that, but just the fact that we kind of, I guess, when I trade 6 stocks, it just shows me that there's a lot of different things happening. There's not really one that's super obvious. We had one that was obvious, but then it failed. 4th day in a row, leading gapper has not held up through the whole morning. So, I think in order for me to have another $40,000, $50,000 or even $100,000 day, I need a stock to really go bananas. I need a stock to, be gapping up 100%, have some maybe nice pre-market trades on it, be up 10, 15,000 before the bell. The bell rings, it maybe does a red to green move and then rips through the VWAP all the way back to the pre-market highs and higher. A 5-10 point intraday type of move, that's what I need. Now, I could get those type of intraday moves if I wanted to trade Tesla or something like that, but or Amazon, but then I'd be putting so much money on the line, and of course the spreads and volatility there would be so much more difficult. So I want to continue to focus on high relative volume, the obvious stock each day, and if I have to grind on slightly smaller numbers right here, it's okay. I am now, 5 days, is it 5 or 6 days? Well, 4 days this week, plus I think we had 2 days last week for July. So 6 days into July, about $125,000 in profit on the month. I haven't had any red days yet. So, although I haven't had any one big blowout, record-breaking green day, these are all solid green days. So I feel good about that. I'll be back at it tomorrow, try to finish up the week. Who knows, maybe we'll get a wild card Friday. So I hope you guys enjoy the recap. As always, questions, comments, leave them down below. If you haven't already hit the subscribe button or the thumbs up button, I really appreciate that. And as a reminder, if you want to watch me trading live during the day, every day, and you want to watch my classes and learn more about my strategy, you should jump into the Warrior Pro course. Right now, you can use coupon code July40 to save 40%. All right, that's our Independence Day coupon code, which is still active. So hopefully I'll see some of you guys in a chat room tomorrow or early next week, and hopefully we can finish up tomorrow with one more green day and have a 5 green day kind of nice first full week of July. All right, so enjoy the recap, and I'll see you guys first thing live streaming right around 9 a.m. right here on YouTube. All right, everyone, so we're going to do our midday market recap and go over the trades from this morning. I traded 6 stocks today. I've got $20,905 of profit, and overall did well. But again, 3rd day in a row where I would say that I didn't feel like the market was as hot as I was hoping it would be. $20,000 is a good day. But I was a little disappointed by the lack of follow through on AIHS and even a little bit on ALT, which were the 2 that I made the most on. And my loser on CTech, I cut it at 2,000, which is kind of I mean, I try to keep my stops tight, but with 10,000 shares, 10 cents is $1,000. So 20 cents is 2,000, and those losses can pick up pretty quickly. So I've got to be really quick on cutting them, and I did. VUS or VUZI, small loss, small winner, small winner. So we'll go over the trades from today. So why don't we start by looking at the watch list from this morning. So this morning, our leading gapper was AIHS, gapping up 80%, and I had already traded it pre-market. So this was kind of interesting because this stock we traded, when was it? It was actually yesterday. Yesterday. This was the leading gapper in the market, and I traded AIHS and made some money on it. Yesterday, it wasn't a home run day. It was a green day. I don't remember how much I actually finished with, 6,000 or something like that. So yesterday we had this move pre-market on AIHS, which I did jump on pre-market. We had a little pullback right here. I jumped on that with 20,000 shares, and we got a squeeze here up to a high of $2.26, whatever it was. Did a little red to green attempt here and then pulled back. Ended up selling off through most of the afternoon. And so on the daily chart, yesterday looked like a big red candle. Not that pretty. This morning, this was on my chart when I opened my computer because it was the stock I was looking at yesterday before I shut down my computer. And I was not even really doing the watch list yet. And all of a sudden I saw this big green candle as it was squeezing up. And I was like, what is going on? This just went from $1.20 to $1.73. And a second later, the news pops up. Let's see, not that headline, but this one right here. And it was announces financial results for fiscal year ending March 31st, 2020. So I was like, okay, that's the catalyst. That's the headline. We've got earnings out. All right, so then I scrolled down and I was like, wait a second. Does that say business increased by 514% year over year? From 2.5 million to 15 million in revenue from automobile transaction and related services? That's huge. And then I looked at the next one and it said again, up 535%. And I was like, whoa, that's big. I mean, that's a serious year over year increase. And so I jumped in at right under $2 and I bought 20,000 shares. On this one, I added to 30,000. I took a big position. I think maybe the biggest was like 35 or 36,000 shares. We had a high of $2.58. I mean, I was seriously impressed. A little pullback here. Tried to do an entry in this area, a dip entry, kind of small win, grinding. Another dip entry attempt here off of 225, popped back up to 250. Each of those were with between 10 and 20,000 shares, so 1,500, 2,000. Small winners, but nothing really big. Another dip trade down here at 25. It curls up, and by the time the bell was ringing, I was probably already up 15 or 14, maybe $14,000 on it. The bell rings and it sells off. And I was like, gosh darn it, again, why are we seeing these? I mean, it's great to see pre-market action, but then why are we not seeing it hold up into the open? I did a bounce trade off of 210 and it ripped up to 235, pulled back again, another dip trade on this. Was that actually the last trade? No, I think that was the last trade right there. And then it just sold off. And so once again, we have it gapping up with great news. I mean, in my opinion, but selling off. So one of the things that I was mindful to check pre-market was to see if they have an S3, so a shelf registration. And in fact, they do have a shelf registration. It was filed last year, but they're good for up to 3 years. And this gives them the right to sell up to $80 million in stock. So it made me wonder if maybe we're going to see the headline, I don't know, later today or tomorrow that they've, that either yesterday, I don't know, or today, that they were selling shares on the open market in a direct offering. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it just was really weak. Maybe you have people who have been holding this for a long time and just wanted to get out. But there was clearly an imbalance to the sell side, and I was a little discouraged by that. So unfortunately, although I thought it had some good potential, and it did give me some nice profit on this aggressive entry for the break of 2, which is a whole dollar entry. At least I think that was my entry. I'd have to go back and just double check. Let's see, where was my entry on this? let's see, actually 231, 232, 233, and adding at 237, 239, and then selling at 261, 260, 254. So yeah, a little higher, but in any case, some nice trades there, but man, it just could not hold up, which was really kind of a bummer. So that was AIHS. ALT was the second one. So ALT, really strong move here, but kind of interesting that the volume pattern was like green, red, green, red, green, red, green, red. It was like popping up, pulling back, popping up, pulling back, popping up, pulling back. And on this one, I didn't start getting really interested in it until I think it was 21.28 right here. It was 21.68. We had this doji at the top, which I thought was a reversal. And as it came up and broke that level, I was like, okay, this is a long. Short sellers are going to get squeezed out. So I bought 21.68 and it squeezed up to almost $23. So about $1 a share there. And then a couple dip trades on this pullback off the VWAP, but it wasn't able to really hold that level. It broke VWAP before now curling back up, but I'm not going to overstay my welcome on that. And the other ones, MOGU, CLSK, and VUZI, these were stocks, and CTEK, these were stocks off the high day momentum scanner. Hit the scanner, popping up. Two of them were halted, but just didn't really see good action. So those all sort of canceled each other out, ended up being a small net loss among these four trades, and the bulk of the profit on AIHS and ALT. So ALT has 26 million shares of volume on it right now. So this has a lot of volume. It's very liquid. It has high relative volume, even higher volume than it had yesterday. And AIHS, compared to yesterday, the volume is actually a little bit lighter. Yesterday it traded 124 million shares. Today it has so far only 53 million, but still very high relative volume versus what it had a week ago. So I think these were the right stocks to be honing in on and focusing on today. Following the relative volume around the market and looking for opportunities seems to be the way to go. So not, again, the most exciting action. I would have loved to have seen a little bit more, but continuing to make progress on the month, probably sitting up around 125,000 on the month right now. So biggest green day of the month was 32,000. Smallest green day is 6,000 from yesterday, and I have not had a red day yet for July, but you never know. It certainly could happen. I'm sure it will happen at some point, but just trying to keep it, my first couple trades, really trying to focus on quality setups, and then as the day goes on, if we don't see momentum, I'm just easing off the throttle and walking away. So that's about it for today. 6 stocks, green, $20,000, not bad. 1 hour of trading, and I'll be back at it once again first thing tomorrow morning, and I'll be looking for the stocks that I think are going to have the highest relative volume and try to jump in and ride that momentum. All right. So, and again, reminder, guys, as always, you should not be blindly following me or anyone else. If you're following me or anyone else, you're always behind the action. You need to be able to see it in real time. You need to be able to understand the strategy. And you should be proving profitability in a simulator before you ever trade with real money. Day trading is risky. Most people who day trade lose money. So if you want to be, part of the 10% or whatever it is that are profitable, you've got to do something different. And that starts by not following, instead learning the strategy, and by trading in a simulator to prove profitability before you put real money on the line. So be smart about the way you approach this. If you're trying to do something that most people fail at, you really have to think long and hard about what you're going to do that's different from other folks out there. All right, so word to the wise there, and I will see you guys first thing tomorrow morning.
And that right there was an entire video with no ads. I don't monetize my YouTube channel with video ads, which means you guys get to enjoy the content. But do me a favor, please hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up and let YouTube know that this channel is the channel to watch if you want to learn about day trading.